One of the biggest lessons I've learned, basically from Psalms 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Now, it doesn't necessarily say anything about giving or tithing or anything like that, but for me it was one of the biggest lessons that I've ever learned. Has to be that everything is the Lord's. My time, my money, my possessions, everything. When it comes to giving, there's just no better feeling. When you understand, when pastors preach it probably, hundreds of times saying that everything is the Lord's, but till it actually sinks into your heart, when it actually does something to you and touches you, and you actually give everything to the Lord, there's no better feeling. It builds your faith, but also building your faith, it'll build your faith in other areas in your life, and then as that goes, you just get complete joy. And there's no better feeling than just being able to give back to God what He's already given you. And that was one of the biggest things that I've ever understood, was giving back to God and seeing His blessings and watching Him work. For faith building offering, I was praying about what God wanted me to give, and it came to a point to where I thought I had the exact amount that God wanted me to give. And so I said, okay, God, that's fine, we can do that, that's perfect. So one day, Sunday came, and I was going to pick up someone from SVSU to bring him to church, and something just didn't feel right. Something was just kind of poking at me, but I didn't worry about it, didn't bother me. I was having a conversation, and got to church, something still didn't feel right, and pastor came up and he handed me a book, and I didn't want to read it because I knew who it was from, and I just kind of let it go for a little while. And I took the kid back to SVSU, and on the way home, or on the way back to church, something still didn't feel right. Like something felt weird inside. Something just didn't settle with me. Something was just poking at me saying it's not right. So I got back to church, went in the gym, and I listened to the singing and everything, and it was time to give the offering and give your tithe, or what you're giving for the faith building offering. And felt comfortable. I put it in the envelope and I put it in the plate, but something still just didn't feel right, and I didn't know what was going on. So the cover of the book said, if God will bring you to it, He will bring you through it. And I just sat there and I read it 3 or 4 times, and it just made me think. I figured out what exactly was wrong, and what I gave was something that I wanted to give, not what God wanted me to give. And so I just remember at that moment just saying, okay, Lord, whatever it is, just let me know. And I remember at that moment, He just put on my heart what I was supposed to give. And the next day, I went and took care of that, and I just had peace. And from that day, it was easier to give. And like I said, it built my faith more and more. And it just made my life that much happier, and gives me joy every time just to understand the fact that everything belongs to God.